we're going to talk about additional living expenses and its sister coverage, loss of use. Hey, this is Mendy with my insurance claims expert, here to answer all your insurance claims questions. So, additional living expenses is going to apply to your policy. Hopefully you've got that coverage if this is a home that you are occupying yourself, while loss of use is its sister coverage when you have a property that you are renting out. So, as far as additional living expenses, that's to cover any expenses that you now incur that unfortunately you wouldn't have had if not for the fact that there was a loss. Let's talk about examples. You have a fire, you have to move out. First of all, you have to go to the mall and pick up some clothing so you have what to change into. That clothing, for immediate use, that can be covered under additional living expenses. You go to a hotel for 2 weeks to stay in the beginning, the cost of that hotel would be covered. While you're in the hotel, you don't have kitchen facilities to cook in, so you eat out all your meals. Those meals would be additional living expenses. You also have to go to a laundromat to do your laundry because, again, you don't have the facilities. That's additional living expenses. After a certain period of time, you realize this is going to take 6 months, you rent a house, the cost of renting that house would be additional living expenses, as well as if your utilities are extra. If your commute is further because you couldn't find a place close by, maybe now you have an extra half-hour drive every day, the gas and mileage cost of that extra commute would be covered under additional living expenses. These are some of your more common additional living expenses as a owner-occupied house. How much coverage should you have? I always say ballpark you should look at is minimum of a year. So look at houses, similar size houses to yours in the area, see how much the annual rent is. That gives you a ballpark of what your additional living expenses coverage should be. Unfortunately, this is an area of coverage that we see many times homeowners are significantly underinsured. I have a homeowner we're dealing with right now, a condo, where she has a 3-bedroom condo. Her coverage is $7,100. $7,100 can be exhausted in a month, maybe 2 months. So make sure you have proper coverages. Just to quickly go over loss of use, if you do rent out your home as opposed to being an owner occupied, number one, it's important to make sure you have the right policy. Make sure you have a policy that's designed for rental properties so that it has proper loss of use coverage. Loss of use is pretty much going to cover any loss of income you're going to have because this house cannot be used. Easy way to look at it is essentially it's covering the loss of rent. Same idea, how much should you have? Look at a year's worth. How much rent are you collecting? Take that number, that monthly rent, times it by 12. That'll give you the coverage you can have. Hey, I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please show some love. Comment below. We love to see your feedback. Like, share, and of course, if you have any questions, email them to questions@pantherpa.com. Again, questions@pantherpa.com, and we'd be happy to feature them here. Have a great day.